Okay, here are the notes for arc length. This is for circles, right? We're dealing with circles. Oh, that looks like a D. It's not, it's circles. So letter C here and then an L. Circles, we're looking at arc length, or just the length of a little section like an arc, not the whole circumference around. We did a whole circumference around, but for arc length, we're just going to find the measure of a length of the arc on a circle. So let's talk about arc length of a circle and what that is. We're going to be able to use a little formula here and just put the numbers that we need to put into the formula, and the rest is calculator work. So what is arc length? Okay, try your best. Draw this this picture here of this circle. Try your best circle right there, center. Okay. Well, we know the center has a radius, right? Well, actually, let me tell you what an arc is. An arc, let's say I'm just gonna focus on this. You know, it can be a small arc or it can be a very large arc. But an arc is not the whole circumference. We did an assignment where you found the whole measure of the whole circumference of a circle. Here you're just going to find a section of it, or an arc. Okay, so an arc is just, you know, it can be a little piece or it can be almost the whole thing around, but there's obviously a portion, there's obviously a, not the whole circle, just a portion of it. So this is arc, and then they'll use letters. So this will be this from here to here, this little section that you're just gonna, this little piece here, that's the arc. That is arc AB. We're just gonna find the length of it, the actual measure, right? Of a particular arc, and it depends on, you know, how big the arc, what the radius is, and the angle. Okay. Now, if you remember before, we had an assignment where we were finding just the degree of an arc. Let me just sidetrack here. Remember this assignment where this is review here, right? Remember when we had a circle? We had a circle, and if the central angle, remember, if this central angle was like 130 degrees, if this central angle, and let me also use A and B here, was 130 degrees, then the degree of the arc, remember the degree of the arc was also 130 degrees. Remember that? So AB, the degree matched the central angle. They were exactly the same measure. It was so easy, right? Whatever this one is, this one is. If it's a central angle, which you're going to be dealing with in this assignment. Okay, the same thing's going to happen here, but we're not looking for the degree now anymore. We're actually looking for how long the arc is. But we will need this degree measure. We'll be using it. So here it is. So here is arc AB. That's this one here. And obviously from the center to here to point A, or from the center to point B, we know that's the radius, right? That's R. I mean, I can write it here, or I can write it here. I can write it in both. It's the same measure, right? The radius will be the same. Okay, so you're gonna need, well, here's the formula. Here's the formula for arc length. Arc length of this part, which is from A to B, whether it's a really small arc or a really large arc length of AB, of this arc AB, the formula is this. It's going to be this measure or this degree of the, it's going to be the degree, the measure of AB, the measure of the angle of AB, but we're going to have to divide that by 360, by 360 degrees. And then multiply that to 2, and then pi, and then r. So essentially, this part is actually the circumference. If you remember, 2 pi r was the circumference, but we're getting only this fraction of it. We're only getting this part of it. So that's why the formula looks a little bit like lengthy or tricky, but there's actually only 2 numbers you have to find out and substitute into the formula. The only 2 numbers that you're going to need to find is you have to find that, the angle. You don't need to find 2, you don't need to find pi, you don't need to find 360, and then you just need to find the radius. So those are the only 2 things you're going to need. Once we put all the numbers in the formula, it's going to be easy. Okay, so that's what we're doing. This formula is used to find how long this arc is. Like if we were to straighten it out, if we were to straighten this line out and actually measure it, that's what this formula is about. Okay, that's why it's called arc length. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Number 1, we'll do some actual problems here. Number 1 is going to be, let's draw a circle. Try your best. Here's where you pause it and you copy it. And let's write the directions, right? Find the length of each arc. Well, yeah, find the length of each arc, or what's another way to say it? Find the what? Arc length. Same thing, right? Find the arc length or find the length of each arc. Same thing. This is the formula you're going to use. That's it. Okay, so the first one, draw this circle. Here it is. Just try your best. Not even mine is like that good. There's a center. Okay, there's the center. And let's say they do something like this. And let's say this is the arc. Let's say this is the arc right here. Your assignment is just going to have a nice little, kind of like a darkened spot, right? Like that part will be dark. But you know what? We'll put A and B because, you know, that's the letters that they're using in the formula. So we'll put A and B. Right? We're trying to find this arc length right here. How much does it measure? Well, we need to know what 2 pieces of information. The angle here, the central angle. That central angle for this problem is 45 degrees. And the radius, both of those are going to be given to you. The radius is, let's go with 10. That's the radius. Okay, so I know my radius is 10. So that's R is equal to 10. That's 1 piece of information I need, right? And what's the second piece of information? The measure of the arc, right? Or the angle of the arc. Arc AB, the measure of arc AB is 45. Okay, that's it. That's the 2 pieces of information. I mean, they're going to give you both of them. All right, so let's do it. arc length. I'm just going to write arc length AB. I'm not going to write the of. So I'm going to copy the same formula. Arc length AB is equal to, what was it again? The measure of arc AB, you know, the angle measure of arc AB divided by 360 times 2 times pi times r. Okay, so that's going to be what? You only have to put the two informations here, this angle and the radius. Everything else is a number, right? So that's going to be what? What's the measure of the arc? The measure of the arc is what? Remember, if this is 45, well, this one's 45. The measure of the angle AB is 45, so it's 45. Okay. So that is going to be 45 degrees divided by 360 times 2 times pi, and then times the radius. What is the radius here? Here the radius is 10. That's all you need. I mean, they're going to give you both, the angle and the radius, and that's it. So it's just get the angle, whatever angle it is, divided by 360, and then times 2, and then times pi, and then the radius. Okay, and the rest is calculator work, but some people will still mess up right here, so let's do this carefully. I would say you get this first. This is going to be a decimal. So that's going to be 45 divided by 360. 0.125. Okay, let's write that number in. That is 0.125 times 2 times pi times what? Times 10. So let's get all the numbers out of the way, yeah? Let's multiply that. 0.125 times 2 times 10. What was that? 0.125 times 2 times 10 is equal to, I get 2.5. I haven't multiplied the pi, so that's 2.5 pi. And then we multiply 2.5 times pi, or whatever number you get. 2.5 times what? Times pi. Where is pi again? Oh, right here. I have a button for pi. Use the calculator one. And then hit enter. We're going to get 7.853981634. Okay, well, we're not going to write all that. Let's just round it off. Let's make it look like money again. So $7.85. I think the answer in the worksheet says 7.9 because they rounded off to the nearest tenth, so the 5 bumped that up to a 9, but that's not a problem. Just don't worry about that. We'll leave it at 7.85. 7.85 is good. Or what? Well, like I said, the worksheet is going to round it off to only the 10th. So, or what? 7.9, because right, the 5 bumps up the 8. But I'll accept either one. I'm going to check your work anyways. All right, let's do the rest faster, right? That's it. That is going through this first one really slow. Just, have this formula in your notes. All you need is the angle and the radius. Okay, let's do number 2. Let's do another one. All right, number 2. We have a circle. Oh, wow, that was pretty good. We have a circle, and now, They want this. They actually made it. They want this whole arc length. What is the arc length from A to B? But if I'm going like, again, they won't have the A and the B on the worksheet, but it's all of this part. What if I want to know, and you'll see it, it'll be darker on your assignment. What if I want to know how much this whole arc is right here? Oh, how much does that measure? Well, that's when you use this formula for arc length. Right, only from here to here. And they tell you that this one, they'll use a little arrow that goes like this, and it tells you this is 270 degrees. So how much is it all the way this way? We're finding this arc length. All right. Okay, so from A to B, arc length is what? Oh, we need a radius. Wait. What's the radius? This one says 11. 11 like meters. It'll have units, but I'm not worried about the units. Just could be 11 meters, 11 miles. Doesn't matter. Here's the formula. Arc length of AB. Right, well, always, even if they have different letters, you just change it to AB. What was that formula again? Oh, we got to do the measure of the arc angle, right? Oops. The measure of the angle divided by 360 times 2 times pi and times the radius. Okay, so remember, there's only two pieces of information you need to put in this formula, and there's only two pieces of information they give you, right? We're going to put it here, and we're going to put it here. That's it. That's the only two things you need. It's only two things you're going to be, the information you're going to know from the circle. So that's going to be what? What am I going to divide by 360? The 270 divided by 360. 270 degrees divided by 360 degrees. The degrees will cancel out. Times what? Times 2 times pi times what? Oh, what's the radius? 11. 11. You could put 11 meters if you want, but the number is the only thing we're going to multiply. We don't need it. Okay, the rest is calculator work. So let's multiply the numbers. Let's multiply the numbers without the pi. And let's do that here. Let's see. 270 divided by 360. Let's get that number first. 0.75. I like that one. That is 0.75 times 2 times 11, and leave the pi for last, right? We'll have an answer with the pi for last. Right? I got the 2, I got the 11, and the pi, just put it in the back. So 0.75, got it right there, times 2 is that, and then times 11 is 16.5. Let me try that again. 0.75 times 2 times 11 is 16.5. I got so far with this is 16.5, and then I haven't multiplied the pi, right? And now we're going to do 16.5 times what? The value of pi. Where's my pi? Right there, pi. I got 51.836. Oh, we'll just leave it at 51.83. Okay, one more. Quick. Number 3. Here it is, number 3. Circle. Now they're going to want only this much. All of this. All of this. They're going to want all of this. What is the arc length? What is the measure of this arc? All this from here all the way around to here. And they give me that this is 315 degrees. Okay, I know the degree measure, and the radius is 5. Okay, so here it is. Arc length of A to B is equal to what? Well, remember it's the measure of the angle divided by 360 times 2 pi r. That's going to be, what's the angle? 315 degrees divided by 360 times 2 times pi times, what's the radius? 5. Alright, so the rest is calculator work. 315. I'm going to do this number first. 315 divided by 360. Do that first. Don't do it all together. I get 0.875. 0.875 times 2 times 5 times pi, right? We always throw the pi in the back. So that's going to be 0.875 times 2 times 5 equals, I got 8.75 pi. I haven't multiplied the pi yet. I mean, you could all do it all together if you'd like, but I'm taking it easy here. So 8.75 times, oops, just pi. I'm going to get 27.488. Well, you could leave it at 27.488. In the answer sheet, again, they only rounded up to the nearest tenth, so they'll have 27.5, right? Because the 8 bumps that up. Either one is fine. Okay, that is it. That's how you find the arc length. Use the formula here. You just plug in the angle there, the radius there, and the rest is calculator work. All right, good luck.